Broadcasting from high atop Black Mountain and the Revolting Radio Satellite Service Studios, it's Coolin with the Captain.
Yes, we are, and yeah, I is. Welcome to Coolin with the Captain Freezknot, the captain of all the music contraptions. Jammin' and jammin'. I gotta say something about those last three songs in the last segment. Holy cow. I mean, what, dude? Like, I tried to think outside of my own mind and be like, what if I had never heard these three songs before? It's very possible. Those are three really obscure bands: Salty Dog, Coney Hatch, and the Rods. Come Along, Monkey Bars, and the Music Man. And if you just hear all three of them together, you're just like, what other alternate universe are these songs from where they're like classic rock hits? Because they weren't big hits, but they should be. Or they had like their moment in time. You know, like Colleen and Meadow, these two girls in high school, we used to play a little game during that song, Come Along. I shouldn't talk anymore on this show about anything. So let's get into some friggin' I'm a little flustered right now. I can't remember because I did have a memory just now about something that was really neat that happened in high school. Okay, what is happening? Oh, I'm sorry, that's embarrassing. Let's do something that's not focusing on that, and let's have it be live Rolling Stones. It's time for live Rolling Stones. It's Easter, so I hope you're having jelly beans and if you are, then you're going to enjoy this. Also, it's a belated birthday. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday to John Perdis. And he's John Perdis, not Perdez. It's Perdis. And it's his birthday. Or it was a little while ago. I like to call him Sven Gulli John because you know what kind of person that is. The fact that he's a guy who likes classic rock and knows his classic rock and watches Sven Gulli, I pretty much know that I can have a beer with him. So I would like to sort of virtually do that right now. Raise a glass to him and happy birthday to John. Okay, good deal, right? Fine. Who am I talking to? His name is Morgan Freeman, and he's my sound man, and right now he's saying, stop talking. Here is the Rolling Stones live. I'm cooling with the Captain.
He seems to be ready. Are you ready?
For the next time. We're sorry for the delay. Is everybody ready?
Well, they've done the West Coast, they've done all sorts of other places in America, now they're in New York. The first time in 3 years, the Rolling Stones, the Rolling Stones.
The greatest rock and roll band in the world, the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones.
And a house, and my mom in the driving. Thank you kindly. I think I busted a button on my trousers, so hope they don't fall down. You don't want my trousers to fall down now, do you?
Lumps in my throat when I saw her coming down.
All right, a jumpin' jack set of rockin' Rolling Stones for your Easter weekend. Check it out. It was live Rolling Stones off a really fantastic live album from '69 called Get Your Yayas Out. And Jumpin' Jack Flash kicked it off, and then I put in Little Queenie because I love that, man. It's like Rolling Stones doing Chuck Berry with their Keith Richards, Chuck Berry style is fantastic. And then ended it with the sort of controversial, but not really, sort of street riot anthem, Street Fighting Man. So that's some really awesome stuff, and it's a Rolling Stone set for John's birthday and also for Easter. Right here on Coolin' with the Captain. And now it's time for what I like to call grunge set, but technically it's basically just 90s rock. I especially got to say that before this set because we're going to do a really cool song from Rage Against the Machine, and I would not say that it is grunge in any way because then I'd probably get beat up on the way home.
Anyway, I've got no place to go. The rise of Elvis Presley in the 50s might have seemed, on the surface, to have more to do with sex than with music. He came to prominence at a moment when teenagers were growing in numbers and wielding economic clout, while technology made possible the mass medium in which his music could flourish. Transistor radios, portable record players, and, of course, television, where his good looks dazzled perhaps more than his voice. Elvis himself had no conscious political agenda, but he was altering the social consciousness of a generation by turning them on to the power and allure of music, which had sprung directly from black culture, and young white teenagers lapped it up. Elvis would put together a string of hit records in the late 50s, followed by over 30 motion pictures. But by the 60s and 70s, he was overshadowed by more flamboyant and daring musical performers in the evolving musical culture. By August 16, 1977, he seemed more like an afterthought than a revolutionary figure. The man whose legend seemed much older than his 42 years.
Elvis Presley, dead at the age of 42. I'm John Meyer. Elvis Presley died today at Baptist Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. Presley was 42 years old. He parlayed a $4 visit to a recording studio into a multi-million-dollar career. He was rushed to the hospital late this afternoon, suffering from what officials say was respiratory distress. The county medical examiner in Memphis, Dr. Jerry Francisca, says
the cause of the cardiac arrhythmia is not known at present time. It may never be known because there are several possible causes for cardiac arrhythmia, including high blood pressure and coronary artery disease, and he had both of those diseases. So either or both acting together might have been responsible.
Here in Washington, the White House issued a statement on the death of Presley. A report from Mutual News correspondent Duff Thomas.
In that statement, the president said Presley's music and personality, fusing the styles of white country and black rhythm and blues, permanently changed the face of American popular culture. He was a symbol to the people of the world over of the vitality, rebelliousness, and good humor of his country, unquote. The White House has no plans at this time for a day of national mourning. However, there's speculation that Presley's memory may someday be honored with a civilian medal for contributions to entertainment. Duff Thomas, the White House.
You're listening to The World Today.
News of Elvis's death flashed around the world that afternoon. Yet on the CBS Evening News that night, it was reported after 5 other stories. But as crowds began to swell into the thousands outside the gates of his Graceland home in Memphis, another chapter of Elvis mania began to emerge. Elvis Presley remains an American legend whose myth refuses to fade.
No matter how hard you try, you can't stop us now. No matter how hard you try.